What's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being the person who you are. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the time that we get to spend together on these videos. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the data that I have just been doing some research on success rates when people are attempting to accomplish something. It could be with school, it could be with starting a business, and of course with credit repair and getting out of debt. And what made me want to make this video was a question that I keep getting on YouTube, questions that we get in our chat when people are communicating, questions that my sales reps are getting from people. And I just thought it would be fun, number one, to kind of compare the success of credit repair with our company, success with credit repair across the board, compare it with everything else that's out there. Because no matter what, if it's credit repair, if it's trying to improve your health, if it's going to school to better yourself to be able to get a job, all of this stuff, number one, it costs money, and it's it all relates to each other. Like nothing that you do in life is not related to something else that you're trying to improve yourself with. It's all, everything that we do is connected. So let's get started, and I'm gonna also give the solutions at the end, like I always do. But I just want to make you aware of this, because awareness is what will make you be able to move forward. Because if you're like, okay, I didn't know that, and if this is what's happening with this, and this is what's happening with these other things, there's going to be a major lesson at the end that I'm going to go into that will help you, because this is what everybody is missing, or some people. I'm not going to say everybody, but this is what I was missing in my life. I'll put it on myself. When I got this corrected is when I started making a lot of major jumping major hurdles in my life, accomplishing major goals in my life, when I understood what I'm about to go through with you here. So let's start with the top. Like everybody, when they graduate from high school, what's the first thing that most of us look to do is go to college. Well, I want to talk to you about real quickly the success rate of people who get into the fields that they want for what they went to in school and college is only 33%. You would think that number would be a lot higher, wouldn't you? It's only 33%. And the average cost of someone to go to college is going to be $10,000 to $150,000. So if you spent $10,000, if you came to me right now and you said, Steve, I'm going to spend $10,000, would you believe that the success rate on what you're going to be spending that $10,000 for in educating yourself to go into the field that you want would only be 33%? Do you know that? This is data that is readily available from the federal government and other agencies that are not connected to the federal government. Schools actually have to put this on there. And a lot of students do not even pay attention to it, but they have to actually tell you that success rate. And it's only 33%. So if 100 of you lined up and you're getting ready to go either get higher education, or you graduated and you're going to get your master's in degrees, you're still going to be 33% of you in there. So you can look to left or right, look at everybody in the classroom. Only 33% of you are going to be able to go and get a job in your field. And now this number, which it costs, upwards of 150,000 for going to get even higher degrees, 78% of you who go to get higher degrees are going to be underemployed. What does underemployed mean? That means that you will not make the kind of money that you thought you were going to be able to make, or that you were promised that I don't want to say promised, but that you were told that you would be able to make with that higher degree. 78%. Not my stats. This is governmental stats, and this is actually, if you go to your school and you ask them what is the percentage, they have to tell you the percentage, and it's 78%. of you will be underemployed. I mean, you will not earn the type of money that you thought you were going to be able to earn. Now, let's move it over to weight loss. This is big. Uh, People always say, well, what's the success rate of weight loss? We see the commercials all over TV. 5% of people who join any weight loss program, it doesn't matter if it's going to be a food program, exercise program, whatever it's going to be, only 5% of the people will be successful, and the average cost is $250 to $10,000 and up. So if you were going into something and it was going to cost you $250 to $10,000, and you only knew that 5% of the people were going to succeed, would you do it? And I'm going to tell you that you should still do it, but I'm going to tell you the reasons why people fail. And this also goes into the underemployment, and it also goes into the 33% of the college graduates who are not successful in their field. Okay, now opening a business. 1 in 5 businesses that will open in their first year will fail. 4 in 5 will fail over the next 5 years. Average cost, now that you got internet businesses and not all have to be brick and mortar. Average cost $1,000 to $2,000 is spent, and the success rate is 1 in 5 will make it for 1 year, and 4 in 5 will fail over the next 5 years. Which makes me feel good, because I started my first business in 1990 and I still own that company. So I'm going on 33 years. So I must know a little bit of something about how to run a successful business. Credit Repair Shop is about to break 20 years pretty soon. Let's go into marriages, and stay with me, because there's gonna be a very important lesson. So stay with me. 50% of marriages will fail, and it costs $5,000 to $100,000. So you're getting married, you and your friend, you're getting married, and your best friend and their boyfriend or girlfriend are about to get married. One of you are going to fail. Over time, one of you are going to fail. I'm going into 33 years of marriage. Yeah, 30. Yeah, I'll be married 33 years in February. That's coming up, 33 years. So I might know a little bit of something about how to stay married. 30, okay, and then now here's the big one. Here's the one that gets to where we're, what's the channel's about, credit repair and debt. 33.4% of the people who hire a credit repair service will be successful with their credit repair process. Think about that. We're actually beaten by 0.4%. The colleges were beating starting a business by 70%, and we're a little bit under with marriages by below 20%. So it pretty good. Average cost of marriages, the wedding, $5,000 to $100,000 average cost. Okay, so with credit repair, 33.4%. This is stats that's on there, recorded, not my stats. My stats are a lot higher if people follow through with what I'm going to tell you real quick. But 33.4% of the people who hire credit repair service, any credit repair service, average cost $500 to $2,000. 33.4% are successful. Now, let's get into what goes over everybody's head when we're dealing with stuff like this. Is for some reason people do not put themselves, the personal responsibility of themselves, into the process. They think that everybody, the schools, the graduate degree, the weight loss pills and food, starting a business, the books and tapes that they got, the marriage just because they got married, and when they signed up for credit repair, that everything was 100% on the other. They never take any personal responsibility for what they have to do. With credit repair, this is where I see a lot of people fall short, is that they never think about the side that they have to do. The first thing that I tell people to do, and I have it in my videos, I have it here, I have it on my videos on the website, is that number one, you have to make a decision to change your habits. There is no credit repair company that is going to be able to fix a person who is in the habit of just trying to destroy their credit again, in the habit of doing, like, for example, I saw one of the clients that, well, one of the potential clients that I told my sales rep, don't sign this individual up, not because they're not a good person, not because we don't want to help them. It's because looking at what they've done to their credit with having 150 inquiries that were not like a spam type inquiry, where I could see where they went to go get a car and that car dealer spammed their credit report with 25, 30 automobile finance companies. That's something different. I'm talking about where you look at their report and it's like they're constantly trying to apply for credit. They have a bad habit of thinking that going out there to just apply for credit is something that they're going to just be doing and that it was good. And you talk to them about why are they doing that, and they have no answers on why they're doing it. This is not something this is like a bad situation. This is someone who is not ready to change their habit. So number one, if you're going to be successful in credit repair, there's a certain side that my company takes care of. We take care of, number one, doing a review, seeing what needs to be disputed, seeing what potentially needs to be put into a settlement phase. That's what we do. But on the other side, the individual has to start making decisions on the way that they handle their money. They have to start making decisions on, hey, I'm not going to be in this same habit pattern anymore. And that takes work. Like, you don't wake up one day and say, I'm going to change a habit. It takes a little bit of time of doing something a little bit of time over and over again to get rid of a bad habit and make a new habit. And it could be a quick process, but a lot of people don't want to go through that process, because when they start to go through that process, they're going to start feeling a certain way. They're going to have anxiety. They're going to be worried. All of these things come up. And this is like when we'll have people that sign up with our company, like they'll sign up yesterday, and then they're calling today, or they're calling by Friday to see what's going on with their credit. And we're like, we explained to you that this is a process and that we've done our side, and we're waiting for a response from the bureaus, or we're waiting for a response from a debt collector, we're waiting for a response from a furnisher who had put information on your credit report. And that goes into what they got to do. So people, when you're to have successful credit repair, you're going to have to take responsibility for what you have to do on your part. And that's not trying to destroy your credit or trying to go out and apply for things. You need to let the process work through. So you have to, and I'm speaking to you, if you haven't been successful with your credit, with repairing your credit, is that number one, take full responsibility that you got yourself into this. Take full responsibility that everything on there, you may not have to pay for things that are on there, but that you played a part in it. Like, sometimes people kind of have this separation type mentality, like, I didn't have any participation in anything that's negative on my credit, but I had participation in everything that's positive on my credit. Take full responsibility for that. And then as a company, we will run through the processes on what's going to be validated, what's going to be verified to have to be able to stay on your credit. What are the options on working on the verified items that are on your credit reports to make those either show in the best light, or to probably have a potential to have them changed over a period of time to be fully positive. what are the things that are full negatives like collections and charge-offs, what can be done to either get the charge-offs removed through the process of them either being sold to a collector and then working with that collector if that is validated, and then having that collector state that they purchased that. So that means that that collection that you had on your credit report, that charge off, that is actually a paid account because that collector paid for that account. Like there's a lot of stuff that could be worked on our end, but on your end, the main thing is that you need to understand that you are going to have to take personal responsibility. That's really what this whole thing is about on this video. And with a percentage of 33.4%, I can tell you from our company, when the people are not successful in the credit repair process, it's because when we get to the phase, and you know, I have an 8-point validation process and a 2-phase settlement process. When we get to that 2-phase settlement process is where we start to see if people are real about their credit repair or are they just fake about credit repair. Because no matter what, and I believe that this is what even what plays with this number, with it being low at 33.4%, is that there is gonna, if a person is gonna make it from A to Z with a credit repair process, they're gonna have to at some point consider doing settlements. And if you work through the process of the settlements, it might take a period of time depending on your finances. But if you work through that process, you will see that you will be successful on other. Like you will, the first settlement, like when we do settlements for customers, it's like a person. It's like I'll relate it to this. When I was listening and watching a video on Tony Robbins the other day, and he was like, "I got this glass that's broken, and I teach people how to walk over the glass." And he said that really, if I can get them to take the first step on a piece of glass, if I can get them to take the first step, all of the other steps go real fast. They're like motivated to continue and get across to the other side. And if you think about it, that's kind of what people go through with following through with a full credit repair process. Is that when they get to that part where if the way that they're going to make it through is to go through a settlement phase, the first step that they have to take is to do one settlement. And once they take that step and do that one settlement, it seems like it just flies through. Like we had a client that was very, like he was being very stubborn about getting into the settlement phase. He's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to pay nobody nothing. I don't want to do nothing. I watched YouTube. He said, I watched YouTube videos. They said, don't pay nothing. And I said, well, you're not trying to pay nothing. They proved everything, and now they're threatening to take you to court and and get a lawsuit against you. And people are being sued all the time, hundreds of thousands of lawsuits, state by state. And so when you're watching a video and it says don't pay, and there's lawsuits out there and they're going through the legal action to make you pay, don't you think that what they're telling you in those videos are not actually, that's not good information? So we have to get people to take that first step. And once they take that first step, then I think what happens is like their awareness and their eyes are open. They're not just like looking at something, they're actually looking at something for what it is. Kind of like what I'm telling you with these numbers. When you see what the numbers actually are, you're gonna, like, you'll never not be able to see and understand what I just told you here. Like you're gonna know if you are looking to go to college and you're looking to do something to better yourself with your education, you know right off the bat that 33% of the people who do it, are you going to be in the 33% or are you going to be in the percentage of the failures? And the only difference between those is the people who are going to be successful are going to take a higher level of personal responsibility for the things that they need to take care of to make sure that if they're working with a school, they're working with a credit repair company, that it puts them in the best position for success. Like, that's really like the where when I'm seeing success and failure with credit repair, when I'm seeing success and failure with getting out of debt, is that where people are dropping off is they don't want to take their side of the personal responsibility. They want to put everything on the company. When yes, the company has a lot of stuff that we got to do. Excuse me, a lot of stuff that we got to do, but it still takes personal responsibility on not either getting into more debt, going out there doing inquiries, or not following through with the process when we get to a settlement phase. Because that's almost, I would say that when dealing with clients, I would say that probably 80%, I would say 80% of the clients will have to go through a settlement phase, or they're going to have to go through a long process of, if they're trying to not pay a collector, it's going to be a long process of back and forth work to not have to pay a debt collector. It's going to be a long process. So I wanted to get that over to you because this is good information. Because when people are trying to do things, when you're trying to work on your credit, you're trying to better yourself, you're trying to do something to help yourself health wise, and you're like, well, what is this? What is the potential success rate? And all companies have to reveal their success rates. We reveal them, but I always tell them that, hey, this is our success rate, and it's very high, but there's personal responsibility that goes with that. And the people who have failed, the credit repair process with my company, it's, I would say 99.9% is because they didn't want to go through the settlement phase. And then there is a percentage where we dropped the ball, where something got messed up with paperwork, where we just did not go through appropriately with the process with them. But we're always here to help that individual if we drop the ball. So it's not like something where we drop the ball and then we just don't want to do the work. It's like we're, if you can think of it, we're dealing with a large group of people, and just like with any company, someone could fall through the crack when it's transitioned from one department to another. But we're always here to correct that. Like, we don't run. We're always here. So if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, and I have an updated video on what makes us different, where I explain my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process, because this is going to help you get from A to Z with your credit repair process. If you need your credit reports and scores, because you don't know what's on your credit reports, because that's the first place that you need to start. What is hurting me on my credit? If you know that, then you can make a good educated decision on what you need to do to fix that problem. The link is below here. You can go to the number 3scores.com to grab your reports. Or if you want to see what the creditors see, the auto dealers, the credit card companies, the mortgage companies, there's a link below this video. You can get your FICO scores, your true FICO scores, so you can see what they see on approving you for credit. And then we have a link below if you want to get my updated letters, my updated 3-pack of letters. Only you can grab those, or you can get my 3-pack of letters that are for free. I have an updated version and I have a older version. The older version can still work, but there are adjustments that debt collectors have made, and I've decided to charge, because these letters are really saving people literally hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and saving them frustration. So the links are below. If you have problems processing your payment, where it says it's declined or it can't go through, all you have to do is call your bank and say that you want to allow the charge from the credit repair shop to go through, and then they will allow that transaction to go through. That's just something that's happening. A lot of cards have protection features, and and we're seeing that that's happening with some people, depending on what bank and what card you're using. Thank you for your time. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. I'm going to be in there answering some of those, and I'm going to be making some videos off of those answers that I make from the questions in the YouTube comment section. Thank you to Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder, the CreditRepairShop.com.